Well, can we go?
Let them record though first.
Oh, hey, we're okay. Yeah. Hey guys, how's it going? We're here at the ThoughtXchange. We got Steve Van Diest.
Yo.
Steve, say what up.
What up?
Hey, we got I'm Cameron Barkey. We got BGK.
Hey.
And we got Kryple in the house this afternoon or this evening.
Hello.
Yeah. So.
Happy to be here, man.
Yeah, Kryple and BG on the ThoughtXchange. Never thought this one was gonna happen. So
we've been friends for 10 years, and you never thought.
Yeah, I don't know. You hit this level of success now, and I'm just kind of forgot about the little people here, Kryple. So I don't know what's going on with you.
That sounds made up, man. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're
fake news.
Yeah,
fake
that's
news.
fake news.
That's fake news.
All right, so we're gonna start this episode off, and if you can just give us a little introduction about yourself, I'd say, and then we're just gonna go from there. Have a nice candid conversation of the going-ons of Kryple's life.
I'm Kryple.
Yeah.
Musician from Edmonton, make rap music.
Yeah.
Produce rap music as well. That's about as much as it is. I'm the best rapper out here, man.
You're the best rapper out here, eh? You see that top 50 list that came out?
Yeah, I was on it, man.
I know, 36 or some shit?
Yeah, whatever. I was the only guy from Edmonton on that.
Holy
figure it out.
I guess.
The list or whatever. That's just whatever. But, like, no, I don't. That's just the cocky, pretentious rapper attitude. But, yeah.
Yeah, you have to be.
Musician from here, man. I just try to do as much as I can and get the music out.
Yeah.
To as many people as possible.
How long you been doing this for?
Like 10 years?
It's been 10 years, hey?
At least. No, probably longer now. What?
Longer than 10 years.
Like probably like 13, 14 now.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
I did my first ever show the same day you did your first ever show.
I know,
so
that was
when
nuts.
was that? 2007?
2000.
I had the flyer at my house.
I know, I do too.
Yeah, it was 2007 October.
Boy dollars.
12 years.
So 12 years.
That was 12 years ago already. Wow,
I was 15 years old.
So first performance. So probably good like 10 years, like actually trying to like make a
career out of it. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, so for the listeners at home and everyone listening here, yeah, me and Kryple, we made music together a long time ago and for quite a while as well. I kind of stepped away for a couple years. I went traveling and did a bunch of stuff like that, opened some businesses, and music took a touch of a back seat, to be totally honest. But I've known Kryple here for it's going on a long ass time. Yeah, I remember that first show. That was
you just came beatboxed.
Yeah, I came in beatboxed. Yeah, that was wild.
Boy dollars.
With Boy Dollars, man. That was crazy.
You and your beatbox. It's so fun. I still remember that Grey Cup game or whatever. You just took the microphone at where were we, at Privé?
Yeah.
It was like the after party of Privé or something. You just grab the mic and you're walking around the whole.
Yeah, I was just beatboxing.
What is he doing?
Yeah. Trying to get that bass, yeah. Not many people can make that sound, so I'm just,
yo, it's hard. Do it right now.
No, it's right.
I can't.
Hit a little beatbox, man. You don't forget how to do it.
No, I forget how to do it.
So riding a bike.
Plus, it's I can't do it. No, it'll just make a weird noise. It'll probably blow the mic out. I can't. Anyways, BGK, what's your role in this entire thing?
Hey, well, right now I'm managing him. I'm music producing. Took a step back from rapping. Just wasn't for me. You know, started a few businesses and similar story to you, I guess.
So let's hear the why wasn't it for you? Let's go down that avenue a little bit.
What's trash?
Yo, who did you do that?
BG's actually like a really good.
I know, he's nice.
Musician.
He's smooth. Yeah, I know.
Like, everyone wants me to keep rapping. That's the thing, but I just I have no passion for it like he does. Like he honestly.
BG likes money, bro.
Yeah.
There's not money in rap at the start.
No.
You gotta like really put in a lot of time and money before you start to see it. So
that's very.
He's like,
true.
I could do this and waste money, or I could do this and make money. I understand.
But you're still staying involved.
Yeah, just making music as much as I can and staying, close to Kryple, making music with him and managing him too now. Kind of taking on that role, learning about the real in-depth about the industry.
Do you have any mentorship, or where are you learning this? Music management's a whole other. Steve knows a little bit about it, I think, as far as like being in the industry. But you're on this side of the camera. But music management's like, what's the? Do you have mentorship, or you reading any books?
I was just gonna say Donald S. Passman, bro.
Passman.
Yeah, let's elaborate on him. What's he doing, or what's that?
He's a dude that wrote the book on like the Bible of the music industry, I guess you could say. Yeah. And it has everything that from royalties, for everything that you need to know about the music business.
Like the back end of it.
He makes updated versions every year too.
Yeah, because everything changes.
Yes, the music industry changes. Yeah. So
does it talk about contracts?
Of course,
everything.
Yeah.
Like literally, top to bottom break down everything in the music industry.
Yeah, you guys, you've obviously read it. You're going through it.
He's reading a new one right now.
It's content heavy, so you have to like. I'm reading in sections, so like if I have to refer to something, I can open up and just go through it real quick and learn about it, like, you know.
It's kind of like a law book almost.
Yeah, you know,
it's got an index, and you're like, hey, what's going on with this little
stuff,
section?
you know, it's
right.
almost like a school project.
Book you study pretty much.
Yeah.
Dude,
I keep it with me, so.
Yeah, you got it right now.
It's
in the car. It's in the whip.
Car, yeah.
Hey, that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
What? So you what was that first music video you did? Who did you do that with? It was dope. It was
Crooked Eye.
Yeah, that was Crooked. Yeah, how did that all come about? I've always wondered about that because I saw that video pop up and I was like, who's this guy doing a track with King Crooked? I was like, how did this happen?
Crooked.
Crooked Eye, yeah, he's dope.
I guess I want to shout him out because there's this producer in Edmonton who hooked me up with the feature. We're
not going to shout him out?
I didn't even meet home. I didn't
hustled him.
Oh,
yeah, I got hustled.
Jeez. Oh, so we can't really talk about it, but we can, but not say names.
I mean, like,
deal.
I'll tell. I can talk
hustled
about it because I don't want to.
I don't
want. I don't want these kids to make the same mistake as I did. That's why I'll openly talk about it.
Oh man,
but
real start as a learning curve for sure. Like,
bro, you want to know why I quit rap?
Make sure you got right people in the corner, man.
Yeah, like I made bad mistakes like that. Like I paid $1,500 for a $45 video. I paid.
The video wasn't good. Like,
I should have shot it on my iPhone.
Oh, okay.
You shot it on your phone?
I should have.
Oh yeah.
That's how bad it was.
It wasn't terrible.
It was terrible.
If it was 1,500. I was more looking at the content, like listening to it. I was like, "Yo, this is nice." But like the videos,
bro, even Crooked gave like a throwaway verse.
Bro, so this is the second verse I recorded, and in my opinion, and I think in other people's opinion, I bodied the legend.
You didn't body him, but you did.
I bodied the legend real quick.
You didn't body him.
He did not come. He like
gave
literally
him a hard body, eh?
Bro, I bodied
hard body truth.
Yeah, I guess
that's the way I feel. If I see
Crooked, I said fucking ironic, huh? Coming from nothing. That's a fire bar. I like it.
He remembers.
Who said that? Crooked did.
Yeah.
What's the bar?
Some of it coming.
Oh yeah, now you don't
coming
know.
from nothing.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Fucking ironic.
Fucking ironic. Oh yeah, that's dope actually.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
He came. I mean, you know, but it is what it is. I made a lot of mistakes. A lot of crucial mistakes.
Early.
So what was the mistake?
As everybody does. As everybody does.
So one of the mistakes you said was the video content wasn't there.
Right.
So the production on the video wasn't there.
Who made
just doing your reference, just your reference checking. Like if I had met Sonic, if I had met any other, any.
It's hard in this industry though. Like even for me, like I'm in the fucking industry and I can't find good video people.
Yeah.
You know that I'm less like.
No.
And I like there's people that I know that are camera operators, and and there's people that are like that are really really good at what they do, but then they charge like they don't want to do projects because they're making shitloads of money on the corporate side or on the film side or doing all that other shit. So why are they going to come out and just do these projects, right? Yeah. So it's hard to find some people who are really good. I found a couple gems here and there that are really passionate. Yeah. But like they're really hard to find.
Edmonton's a place that's a very tight knit hip hop community, and there's only I don't want to say a select few, but I could name off the top of people like off my head who are like trust, does good work, fuck them, does good work,
yeah,
like
100%.
You know what I'm saying? There's dudes who put out good.
We're a big city,
work.
but we're a small community, especially in the rap, right? There's like. Yeah. It's
very small.
Most of us know each other aside from like you have generations younger than you that usually don't always know everybody, but as time goes by, you start to learn and meet everybody and stuff like that. Yeah, but yeah. It's just like basically with his, it was just like the entire process of it was just like he was paying too much for beats, he paid too much for the feature, he was getting charged too much for the recording time.
You were just like a money bank for everyone.
Well, he was just new. He was just new and he didn't know, and
they took
homie seen him
of
as
you?
the easy target and just took advantage of him, right? And that's like it's kind of it's.
It was bad because I felt like I had a bunch of people saying like, bro, you have skill, like you're actually good, so do things, like, so I'm thinking, okay, let's do the most. What can we do? Oh, feature, let's just do a feature and blow up. Like you don't think about like, okay, we need marketing money, we need a plan, we need a, like you don't think
That's
about
one of
these
some of the
things.
biggest things that I noticed when a lot of these hip hop guys like come to me and they say, okay, I made this song, I want to make a video. Okay, what do you want to make in the video? This and that. And I'm just like, okay, once I put the video, where do people go buy the beat? I don't know. Just like, what the fuck are you spending money on the marketing material if you can't even have, you don't even have a place to purchase the actual.
People spend $1,000 an hour for a video and not put $1 into the marketing of it.
Yeah, it makes zero sense. Right. I don't understand that. That's part of the reason why I haven't released a lot of stuff is because I got a lot of background in like digital marketing and marketing online and stuff like that. But I've invested a decent amount of money gaining that knowledge base, and that thing's it's constantly changing and evolving.
Yeah.
And I have a whole prospectus for my stripes. I call it Project Stripes. Like when that thing drops, it'll be a nice project. But that took me months and months of planning. And I'm sitting on, this is just me speaking personally, I'm sitting on 2 albums right now. One's with Weasel, and then another one's one that's just offshoots a bunch of stuff. There's a whole plan behind it, but you have to. Now you got to put the time to put the plan into execution.
Time is the biggest thing to get, man. Time is the biggest thing to get, right? And that's like what separates. It definitely what separates like a lot of artists, serious artists, from not serious artists.
100%.
It's like the dedication of the time and just willing to take the sacrifices of living a shitty ass fucking life.
Yeah.
In order to maintain some kind of sustainability in a music career.
Yeah.
And there's 2 levels to that thing too. Like I think he goes a little too far to one extreme where he's trying to like make everything perfect before you launch it. And then there's people who just launch shit, throw shit at the wall, and don't have any plan. You kind of have to be somewhere in the middle.
Absolutely.
Where like you're constantly working and hustling, and because like the being in the music industry, the big thing is building your fan base and selling it, doing shows, building up your relationships with people, letting people, and constantly releasing new shit because music dies.
People's attention spans
They're
get
so
smaller,
short
dies
now.
so short. Like how long? Look at Despacito, for instance, right? That shit came out. It was huge for a year and done, and went all over the world. But
a year,
1 year,
a year is still
Year's
long.
huge.
That's a
Year's
long time to
in
run a
music.
single.
Yeah.
When you think about it, if you only made one song and that lasted your career for a whole year, that's insane, bro. That is hard to do.
Yeah,
that's it.
But that's what I'm saying. But it's only 1 year. But like at the end of the year, you gotta have another song. You can't just not have another song.
Your music career is in 1 year. You can't go 20, 30 years.
You can't, and you have to put out like probably 10, 15 songs just to get that 1 or 2 that just launch off, right?
It's really true. Yeah.
So like that's the thing. You got to do it consistently. Like, how many albums does Eminem put out? He puts out an album almost every couple of years.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to. I wish he stopped in 2003. I'm not hating on him. I'm just like,
I wish he stopped after he hooked up with Dre after that first
Listen,
album.
I don't think his new music is as good as his old music. I think he has one shit album.
Which one's that?
Which one?
Relapse?
The one he just put out before
Kamikaze?
No,
which one was that one? I don't even
Slim
know the
Shady
name. It's getting weird.
LP2?
There's like
The
Curtain
LP2?
Call,
No,
Relapse.
he did
Commercial
Marshall
Mathers.
Mathers LP2, and then he did. What did he just put out?
The stupid.
That one with Lil
Encore?
Wayne.
No.
and
No,
shit.
bro, it was the one that had
Recovery.
I
That
walk on water.
It's Beyonce.
Even he talks about it a lot.
He does.
Revival.
Revival, yeah.
shit.
What
Revival.
was
Yeah,
that?
album was
that's-
trash.
That's trash.
Oh, and that's where Joe Budden went off on him. Joe Budden
that
was
album
like,
was trash.
Yeah, Joe Budden said it was trash, and then M hated. Yeah, that's a whole crazy story too.
But whatever, like
But at the same
he's
time,
allowed
though,
to
he's
drop
still-
a one trash album.
I still feel like he's one of the best writers to ever exist.
Of course.
Yeah,
The thing is, here's my theory on Eminem,
Shit's
and why a
wild.
lot of people. I understand why a lot of people don't like him because it's too much to take in for the average listener. It is way too much to take in.
It is.
Like to try
It's
to
too
break down
smart.
everything he's saying, and it's just like, and that's the thing. When you're a rapper like that, when you're a technical rapper that focuses on stuff like multis and rhyme patterns and punchlines, the only way you can go up is just put more. It's to just do it more.
cram more
So
into
like
it,
now
yeah.
at this point, 20 years later, he's just rapping as fast as he can, cramming as much shit into it, and it's just like, for the average listener, it's way too much to digest. You're like, what are you doing? So then he tries to counteract it with doing mainstream poppy style production and features on his Ed Sheeran and
real
Rihanna and stuff
fucked,
like
yeah.
that. And it's just like, you don't know where to
doing?
go.
Yeah.
You're like, that's what I thought with that album. I'm like, why do
You
have
nailed it.
Why do you have Ed Sheeran instrumentals over hard Eminem verses? Like this, I just don't understand it. So I think there's a huge disconnect with his fans from that because like. They just, and then the general public, it's too much for them to take in as well.
Dude, you nailed it. I listened to a new Eminem thing, and I'm like, dude, this is like the type of music he used to make fun of. But then it's like a hard verse, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
That's
guy
what I mean.
doing?
He's still writing. Like, wait, as a rapper, like
It's
you're like,
dirty. It's like,
You know what?
insane when you break it down.
You know what? If you look at it like on like a, it almost seems like he probably may have sold out for that album like you relapse, you ran out of money, you're this.
No,
and
he
then
never
you're
ran
just
out of money.
And
And
then
then
you're
$200
just
million.
like,
You know what it was? He didn't. Who's he signed? Like what? His label hasn't done anything in a while.
His what?
Yeah.
Shady Aftermath.
Shady has not done
Well, he's
anything.
been signing people.
Let's go,
He's
Yelawolf,
been
isn't
signing
it?
people, but
He's
he's got that's probably his biggest artist.
That one song you did was awesome, man.
Yo, Yelawolf
Till
didn't
it's
flop,
gone.
but here's the thing. It's the same pattern with
Yelawolf's nice.
everybody that Eminem signs. And he finally broke the pattern right now. Is I feel like when he signs somebody, he tries to get them to make a commercial album. You have a label behind the sound on their like Yellow's first album, Slaughterhouse's first album. A lot of these people's first albums are very like not what they would choose to do had they have creative control of their product. You know, like Yelawolf's radioactive album is not a proper representation.
No,
of
he's
Yelawolf
trunk
as an
music.
artist.
Yeah,
He's and he's Love
Don't
Story.
go
No,
pop
he's
the
Love
trunk
Story,
on
bro.
you.
Have you listened to Love Story?
No.
By far his best album. It's his favorite. Like even spending like a week with him and talking to him, like bro,
Yeah.
he loves that album. And he even broke it down to me. Was just like, I had an album that they had control of and it flopped. So they gave me creative control of my second album and it was a success.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think he's finally starting to realize, because have you ever listened to Boogie? Not A Boogie with the Hoodie, but just Boogie?
Yeah.
His album that just came out on Shady is incredible.
Yeah.
Fucking incredible. And you can tell that that's exactly what he wanted to do. So I feel like Eminem is just starting to let these artists do what they want now. As opposed to, I feel like that's why a lot of his artist albums didn't have success, because he was trying to make some fucking poppy bubblegum type hits, trying to get huge mainstream success when he wasn't focusing on this giant underground market where you could still make enough money and be successful with it, but it's just not. It's not
Rihanna money, or it's not. That's crazy, because you would think there's two sides to Eminem. I think the one is you'd think that he would just allow the guy to go off and be like, yo, like I just say whatever the fuck I want, you can do the same. But another thing, I think Dr. Dre, when he took Eminem in, he was like, yo, Eminem's old stuff was also very calculated.
Yeah.
Because Dre saw it and was like, yo, this is a crazy white guy, and let's. Because
he came out the perfect time.
it was the perfect timing too. The
like,
whole thing was like perfect timing.
They knew what their perception was going to be, but they knew
it was
how
a risk, man.
For sure.
It was a
was
huge
a
risk,
fucking
but as
risk.
soon
Put
as
his
they seen
whole
the
career on
slightest
the
bit
line
of
for that.
success,
for sure.
as soon as he seen the slightest bit of success, bro, he went like
They went all in.
It's like as soon as My Name Is came out, bro.
My Name Is that one.
And even before that, actually, like you see footage of him like when he first got signed, before he had any music out on Aftermath or anything. He just had the Slim Shady EP.
Yeah. He was still like, what was he, 25 at the time?
Yeah, he did that right after Infinite.
Yeah, Slim Shady EP.
And that had like I Just Don't Give a Fuck. It had a couple songs that ended up being on the Slim Shady LP.
Yeah.
But back then when he first got signed, he had a decent buzz. Like there's videos of him rocking like Boston
Small
for
little
fucking 500
people,
like,
yeah.
which is still decent, especially back in the day when you have no social media or anything. Like to draw 500 people just off like,
especially as a
he wasn't
random
getting
white guy
played on the radio stations. He wasn't, so.
Yeah, no, that was a whole different time. Yeah, but yeah, it's weird to think that Eminem wouldn't allow his guys to have creative control, but at the same point
I don't
in time,
think it's just him. You gotta
business
understand,
guy.
he's not running a label by himself. First off, Paul Rosenberg's involved in everything he does.
Yeah.
He's a manager,
Yeah.
and then you have a label team. Like when you have a label that big, like,
Yeah, it's not just M doesn't have the final say, and there's a whole team of
well,
people.
he probably
lawyers
has the final say, but he probably takes everybody's. Like him and Paul probably have the final say in everything.
Yeah.
But I bet you he takes everybody's.
Or
advice
just
or
show up when you
consideration.
get the fucking. What the fuck is this? I can't play this shit. What is wrong with
I
you?
love
can't
that.
sell this
I
shit.
can't sell this shit.
Sell this
Have you
shit.
ever had what did you say?
Violet Brown told me to go fuck myself.
Yeah.
Tower Records told me to shove this up my
Record.
ass.
Do you know what it's like to be told to have a record shoved up your ass? Yeah, I miss those skits so much.
Yeah,
I miss
so
skits
good.
in general. Weird skits going. Remember Ludacris's skits?
Bro, he had
Ludacris had the best.
Oh, what is that?
He had the
On his
best.
newest album, he had one about
The Viagra skit.
bro.
Oh,
I haven't
my-
heard it, but
Are
like,
you serious?
The
my
art
God.
of the skit is gone.
Oh, it's like some guy calls 911 and he's like, my dick won't go down. He's like, I took a bunch of these. And then like the operator lady's like, hold on, sir, help is on the way.
Oh, jeez.
And then like he just fast forwards like 2 minutes into the skit and this lady's like out front of his house. She just walks in. Where the drinks at? Yo, Ludacris has the best content for skits.
Remember when
by anybody.
this was white people singing his songs? Remember those ones?
Oh,
and they were just like all off beat,
Yeah.
out of timing and shit. Like, oh, those were so good, man. The royal penis is clean, Your Highness.
That was Snoop.
Which one?
Royal
Yeah,
Penis is Clean.
that was Snoop.
That was Snoop and R. Kelly.
Oh no!
Yeah, that's that
I
shit.
told you we were gonna talk about R. Kelly somehow today.
You did say that.
I knew you were gonna.
Yeah,
talk
what
about
happened? What happened to R. Kelly? Speaking of him, what's he saying right now?
He's in jail. He can't get
jail,
in.
bro.
He's in jail. He can't
He's
even
getting
get
charged
bail.
with new shit.
No, it's too funny.
He's gonna be gone for the rest of the life, and rightfully so, man. Fuck that goof.
What was he doing?
I don't know how he's been free for so long. Didn't he piss on a girl like 10 years
It was
ago?
Dave Chappelle,
Like, longer
remember?
than that, yeah.
The Dave Chappelle skit.
Oh my god, on the Chappelle show. Let me piss on you.
Oh man, the PC culture is like kind of like you can't do stuff like that now. Like I don't think that shit would fly anymore. Like
Or
Like doing
just
those
blow
skits?
up.
yeah, those skits and everything. Or you just
Imagine
blow up,
if
but,
that
like,
video resurfaced right now.
that's what I'm saying. Everyone-
White America would be in an
What was,
outrage.
what was the thing that he was saying in that skit? He goes I think you're old enough to know whether you want to be peed on or not.
Girl, you 13. You know.
Like, what did he say?
That's what Dave Chappelle said.
Okay,
Yeah, no. It wasn't actually R. Kelly.
Oh
Dave
my
Chappelle
God.
was just going in on people, man, back
Oh
in the
my
day.
god.
Oh, those freaking Chappelle shows were so
They
good.
were all true though. Like you can't. That's why they were so funny because he was just like he was doing the truth, man.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Well, you know what? This is not a weird turn, but this is speaking of. Well, okay, an article.
What are you about to get at, man?
I'm not going down there. I'm going down. I saw an article in this whole thing. It was a whole massive thread of everyone was mad, and they were talking about these celebrities are grooming these girls at younger ages.
Yeah.
Have you heard about
Yeah,
that
yeah,
stuff?
Bro, this has been going on for
years.
like 80 years.
Yeah, no, but now it's like
Elvis
really.
Presley, bro.
Yeah, what's
Like Elvis Presley had Priscilla when she was dating Priscilla when she was like 13. These guys been grooming these young ass girls.
Fucked up.
That's Celine Dion, man. She married her manager. She was 12 when she was working with that guy.
This is
a
literally
billionaire,
this
isn't
has literally been like one of the most common things in the music and probably even the film industry.
I've never. My head's been in the sand. I just read the whole thing. And I was like, holy shit, what the fuck? Because it was going off on Drake, and they're saying Drake's got this girl who is like,
Yeah.
I don't know if they were doing anything, but he was saying I miss you, and a bunch of weird text messages
Yeah.
came to the surface, and I was like, why are you talking to a 13-year-old like that? I was like, this is real weird. Like, yeah, just kind of changes
on
perception.
the other
of
side
things.
of things, it's like the programming is not all fucked up. Majority of the girls right now, you're dealing with like someone's old programming, and they're dealing with their fucked up program. So when you're dating someone who's 25, 26, you're dealing with fucking 5 or 6 other guys who put shit programs inside them.
Yeah.
What do you mean? And
Well,
did
like they did some shit to fuck them up, got them all pissed off. Now they got this weird programming
at
in their brain.
13, they shouldn't even.
No,
be like,
no. I'm saying at like the older ages, at 25, 26, 27, you're dealing with like another
Girls
man's
that got
program
real
that you have to
issues, yeah.
fucking reprogram some of these girls.
Oh, they're broken.
They're broken.
Yeah, the
You
computer
know?
program.
Oh, they're broken.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
broken.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
that
I'm
makes
down with
sense
that.
now. Now
Like
it
all
makes sense.
of a sudden, like they don't trust you because like every time you go hang out with the boys, she thinks that you're out cheating on her because the last guy she was with instilled that program in her.
The last 5 guys.
The last 5 guys she's with instilled that program, so now it's guaranteed, right?
Yeah, that's tough. That's
so
tough
it's hard
to bounce back from.
It's hard to bounce back from. That's why you want to, like, maybe that's why they want to program someone and keep someone like not fucked up. But most likely these guys are fucking
very true, though.
even worse though.
Yeah,
I feel
like-
bad for those guys, bro.
Yeah, do you think? Okay, now this is like a weird little thing, but like, do you think they're just trying to find someone who's not messed up, and they're just like, okay, I can make sure this girl doesn't go through all these shitty relationships, and then when I want to finally be with her, I can be with her. I'm not justifying this. I'm just, I'm trying to think like,
It's
what's
probably
the
a lot of things. Yeah, it's like
But I don't think you can do that though because they're opposite generations. So like you can try to mentor a 13-year-old, 14, 15, 16, 17. She's still going to go hang around with her 16, 17, 18-year-old friends and get fucked like and do whatever they're doing and whatever bad shit that they're going to get into.
Yeah, I
It's
guess.
just-
Yeah, you can't groom.
so
Yeah, you can't do that
you
really.
can't do
No,
that.
there's
It's
not.
impossible.
And it's
What do you have in
weird.
common with the fucking
what do you
13
mean you can't groom young girls? Is that what you're saying?
Well, you can mentor them, but not in the sense that like you can get into that state where you're like all of a sudden it'd
It's
be
hard
like,
to say, bro. Like when you're talking celebrities and shit, you put a 13-year-old girl in front of Drake, she's gonna do anything he fucking says.
That's true.
And she'll go hang out with her friends, but like
She's not cheating on him. Or
and
not cheating, but
he
like,
could like the mind state of that. She's so young and so
which is
impressionable.
so
which is
captivated.
the problem with it in this other sense too, because there's that sense of power as well. It's that you now have full control over that person.
Yeah,
too.
that's fucked.
Whereas,
that's
like,
fucked. A 13-year-old too. That's
You know?
weird.
Yeah, that's like
So like yeah, that's
that's disgusting.
There's
man.
just
It's
when
really,
you really think about it,
that's really
this world's
odd.
fucked, man.
Yeah,
This
that's so
world's
fucked up. So like you're gonna
F
be like,
Jeffrey Epstein, man, or whatever. His
what
name is.
happened to him?
You brought it up. I didn't, man.
He died. You brought it up earlier.
Yeah, but not now.
He died.
Dude, that he had Pedo Island, man. That was the spot. Like, that's where they were.
I know, but like, wasn't they going to court? Like, wasn't they?
He was on suicide watch.
Yeah, so like, I was telling him earlier, I'm not too like up on pop culture and stuff like that. I kind of just lock myself in my studio all the time. But like, I was listening to a Joe Rogan podcast and they were talking all about it, and he was saying like, yeah, like this guy was like tied to a bunch of like pretty much a pedophilia ring in Hollywood, like these huge, important, high up people. Like he was pretty much the gatekeeper to bring like an entire bunch of people down.
He was like blackmailing everybody because he basically
had all these cameras.
He had cameras everywhere, and he had people filmed, and like they would go to these things, and he had all.
And he had this exactly like he said,
the
crazy
private jet
pedophile island. Like it was like this old weird, almost looks like
castle.
A mosque. His house,
yeah,
it's like
weird mosque.
You know, like you ever been to like a house in Mexico, like an Airbnb in Mexico or something, where they got like light blue tiles with like it looks like that on the outside. It's really weird, like. It's super weird.
And he had a masseuse there, this lady masseuse, but she was older, and she didn't do anything to like stop the shit from happening, and she knew what was going on.
Where was his mansion? She's probably just like a fucking Philippine, wherever his
No, she was a white girl.
Well, where's she?
Yeah. What do you mean?
Like during this thing, like
she was
they
just
offed off this guy. Where's she? Where's she not testifying?
I don't know. I don't know. She was the masseuse.
Probably got paid off.
Might have got paid off or something. Dude, the guy was a billionaire, and he was like. He was just blackmailing people into money,
it's a Tuesday.
That's what I'm saying. That's what another thing.
He got the thing for free.
He got that mansion for free.
$77 million.
$70 million mansion island for fucking free. Like they were like, where does this guy get all his shit? Like where is he accumulating this? He doesn't own a bunch of businesses. He doesn't like.
Well, he's apparently a hedge fund manager for billionaires or something. But like,
apparently.
that was his first ever.
Was that his cover though? Like, is that a thing where people?
Hedge funds.
Oh yeah, they give this guy the money because he's their hedge fund guy.
Yeah, that's what the cover was.
That was the cover.
No experience in managing money ever.
But he's the hedge fund guy.
Yeah.
He owns the hedge fund, and everyone just gives him the hedge fund money.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure he just had like the pedophile house where all the famous people would just go and.
Fuck, that's so.
There's
some weird shit happening in Hollywood, man. Like there's some weird demonic shit happening in Hollywood.
Oh, it's fucked.
It's
been happening forever, and that's why it's so common, and like that's why it's never going.
It's getting way more profound now, because like if you watch any of the shit that's on Netflix and stuff like that, you're like. Well, you motherfuckers are tapped in.
Yeah.
Like, the shit that's coming out of there, I'm like, you guys are really tapped into it.
Well, and now, like, I bet you these guys are, like, finding all different type of new ways to exploit females and shit, because the internet, like, you gotta be crafty to not get caught these days, I'm guessing. Like,
well, now even the people just come out the Me Too movements and all this other stuff. So it's just getting weird out there. Weird and weirder.
Yeah, what? Okay, yeah, so that guy, he had his... another funny little thing that I learned about that is that the Clintons, Bill Clinton said he was on the plane only 4 times, but then they pulled up the manifesto and it was like 80 times. Bill Clinton's on this plane.
No.
Yeah, he was like, yeah...
I never had relations with that woman.
relations with that woman.
Miss Monica, Miss Lewinsky.
Yeah, that's...
It was like, you can't believe anything that guy says ever, man. Like, if this
how
do you believe this guy at all? Like, you just get...
Billy, man.
How do you lie so well? Like, he lies flawlessly. Like, he should teach seminars.
I know it did. How,
He which?
How...
He should teach seminars on lying, Bill Clinton. That
It doesn't matter. You don't have to turn
He did well.
It's meant to die.
Yeah.
Yeah, 360's meant to die. It just dies. It's like a small little robot. It's meant to be a teaser. Like, it's just on for 15, 20 minutes, then it'll die off. Just give people...
Bring that thing everywhere.
Me? No, just here.
Every time I see you, you have that camera in my face.
I do, hey? No, it's a GoPro.
Yeah,
Camera
the
Barky.
GoPro.
Yeah, Cameron, yeah.
Camera Barky.
Camera Barky, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's...
Have you guys watched this new episode, The Family? Like, where it talks about, like... When you watch that, like...
It's on Netflix or something?
Not Netflix. It talks about this guy named Doug Coe. Okay. And apparently, it's actually, like, you're almost kind of looking at it going, shit, Doug Coe died. Doug Coe was like he's like this religious guy who's basically keeping everyone in check. Like, he's been in the White House. He's been there for about 50, like, since Eisenhower. So he's like the guy.
Wow.
Who basically connects all of the world leaders. All of the kings, all of the guys. He's the guy, but he doesn't talk politics. He literally just goes and he basically talks Jesus and all this stuff to make sure that everybody is on check.
Yeah.
And make sure that,
That's crazy.
everyone, he's the relationship guy.
So he keeps just everybody cool.
Just keeps everybody cool and everyone in check. So if there's bad shit going down, he's the one that shows up there with his things and does his little ministry stuff.
Just
and
unsung
you're just
hero,
like, holy smoke! But now he's gone. You're just like,
he died?
Yeah.
Why did he die?
So now who's gonna keep the peace?
Who's gonna keep the peace if that was the guy for the
he's
longest
been in
time?
forever. Yeah, like
So,
who's
like-
gonna fill his? Has he just got a kid that's the same?
Yeah, so it's interesting because the spin on the Netflix has kind of got like a dual aspect to it, like where this guy's like talking about, oh, well, one organization shouldn't have that much power and that much influence in the world, and it's not. And I'm looking at it, I'm just like, that guy was keeping the peace, man. I'm like, that guy was there keeping the peace and making sure people don't kill each other. You know,
so they're trying to like the documentary is like depicting him as like a bad person.
the guy who wrote The Family is ousting them. So they're like a secret organization.
Yeah.
They're like the International Christian Leadership thing. They're like a secret organization that and they have like a national prayer breakfast and they do all of this stuff. They hold these things
Crazy.
and they bring all these world leaders together and literally they just have like these prayer meetings and prayer breakfasts to make sure that everyone's like, hey guys, remember why we're here? Blah blah blah. It's not about you, kind of thing. Trying to like keep the peace with all the kings, and he ousted that. Because there's, with that organization, obviously with any organization like that, you have bad people in there can take advantage of the shit. Like
especially with that much
there's
power,
that duality
too,
in all of it, right? There's good people and bad people, but it's like just having the right good person in the right spot at the right time could save some shit from going
Absolutely.
down. So like this guy, Doug Coe, apparently he was like everybody's like renounced Doug Coe. I'm like, who the fuck is Doug Coe?
Yeah.
You know, like how do I know?
Never heard of him.
Never heard of
Like
him.
a mad conspiracy guy.
And he's like the guy. He's like the guy that is the most influential man in the whole world that nobody knows about.
That's insane.
I'm just like, what? How does everybody? He's been sat down with Gaddafi. He sits down with all of them, like all of these leaders, and he's
like,
the
how
guy
do you just sit down with people like that?
Yeah.
How do you look like
Confidence,
how,
bro.
Well, yeah,
Wow.
they had because they had the senators. So that's the thing where they were talking about is they were just like because they were so powerful in the amount of people that they knew.
Yeah.
Like it's like, oh, this guy is friends with Bill Clinton. He's friends with this, friends with that. So you want to meet with him, and he's got senators with him and all this stuff like that. So they'll do these trips and go meet with them, but they're not going on behalf of the United States, but because they're from the United States and they're friends with all the United States, these other countries take them in as if they're from the United States, representing it. So there's this fucking.
Well, they're in a gray area.
They're in this gray
man,
zone where
yeah.
they're just like, they're like integrating the church and state together. Where they're just like, wait a minute, you're not representing us. You're not supposed to represent us. What are you doing? You didn't tell anyone you were going there. We didn't know about it.
He's
you know?
like, I'm
And he
not
just
trying to
fuck it.
represent
He's like,
anybody.
hey, I'm not
just-
representing anybody. I'm
on my own.
I'm just on my own. I'm going down there.
He's kind of like in the gray area with the WikiLeaks guy. How he was like in, where was he? Brazil or where was he? He was in the consulate.
London.
London,
He's in
no,
London, but he's
the
in
Portuguese?
Ecuadorian consulate.
Ecuadorian consulate. Do you remember that?
No, man.
The WikiLeaks
Explain.
they threw him
Oh, you
out.
don't know that? Not Edward Snowden. What's the other? What was his name? Julian Assange.
Julian Assange, yeah.
Yeah, Julian Assange and Edward Snowden. They did the WikiLeaks thing, right? And Julian Assange ended up in, how many years was he in this thing for? 10 years?
Something like that. So this guy, he just dumped a whole bunch of information about.
And Hillary Clinton
about
was on there.
Hillary Clinton and
All those
all-
emails
Yeah.
and stuff. The Clinton family.
So he did a whistleblowing, but it was like he created treason against his own country. So what happens is because he created treason against his own country, the Americans wanted to extradite him, and because he's from London, and so being in London, he went into the Ecuadorian consulate
where like he has diplomatic immunity from the States coming in and taking him.
So like
So
nobody
he
could
just-
take him, so he just lived there.
He lived in a room. He lived in a
In
room.
Ecuador or London?
In London.
In London, but the Ecuadorian embassy.
Embassy.
So Ecuador was just like, no, we're protecting this guy, and they protected the guy, which is just weird stuff. Like, so they wouldn't, because it's like its own country, so they couldn't go into Ecuador and take him out until Ecuador said, "Fuck it, come get him."
He's kind of messy. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what happened. He wasn't like
Like,
brushing.
He's not taking the shower anymore.
shower.
He's skateboarding throughout the embassy.
Fuck
Come
it. You know,
come
you
get
can have
fucking
this.
guy.
It was crazy, and the whole place was on like lockdown for like X amount of years. There was like just U.S. people just like army guys, just stationed out in front of every window, every door. They were just all standing there.
So he
like,
couldn't go.
So he couldn't leave.
The second he left, he would have been arrested.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's only safe on that property?
Yeah, in that room.
Well, that's Ecuadorian tax money.
I don't know who was paying.
Probably, well, whatever, because it's
fucked.
it's the
So if
embassy.
he was actually in Ecuador, he probably would have been fine. But because he was in London,
They couldn't fly him out, right?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he's
He
stuck.
was stuck in that, and that's
because
unless
that's
they got a
technically
helicopter.
no doubt you'd go fucking crazy, man.
because that's
he went
technically
crazy.
like Ecuadorian. Well, they would just shoot
country.
the helicopter down at that
Yeah, I
point.
guess.
As
So
soon
you
as
have
the
to sit
helicopter
in this
bounced up.
fucking room in this government building
For the rest of
for
your
the
life.
rest of your life.
And then
I'm
he's
not
like,
leaving.
not only that,
I'm
but
not
then
leaving.
he's still operating. He's still operating the website and still pissing everybody off. And people are still sending him shit. He's still leaking all this shit. So
can
they're
we get a
losing
picture
their
of
mind
this
on him.
Look, what does this guy look like? Like,
I don't know.
Julian Assange?
Julian Assange. Yeah, he's
Right.
all.
You gotta look.
They finally got him. He was looking a little crackpot near the end. Like
Yeah, and they
long
had him
hair and
all
the
like, it was funny, they had him
green,
all like thing and they're carrying him out because he's not like walking out. So they literally like, there's 5 guys like have him like a log and they're carrying him out.
Where is he now? He's probably like, is he dead?
Nobody
Like,
talks about him anymore.
Yeah.
So like, what the hell happened to him? Like these
Actually-
guys disappear and you're like, what happened?
Dude, what happened?
Like
I
what
gotta
happened
look
to
that- I gotta
Tekashi
look-
6ix9ine?
we need to do a
You'll
story.
hear, you'll
on
hear
the
about
people.
him as soon as he gets out of jail.
He's gone. He's out of jail, man. He didn't like he
that
pleaded.
guy.
Are you sure? I think he's
He
still
went
in
into the
jail.
witness protection program.
Did he? I didn't know this.
Like that
That
was
guy?
yeah.
How the fuck?
I don't know how
How hide, man? You
I
got
don't know
rainbow
how
hair
you
tattoos of 6ix9ine all over your body.
How are you gonna hide this guy? You're gonna give him a fucking total plastic surgery job? Like how do you hide this guy?
I still don't think he's out of jail.
I don't think he's out of jail either.
Is he?
I've seen a couple random reports, but I think he's still in jail. I think he's getting out soon. But you could be right. Like, I don't really follow.
They're
the
not
story
gonna
too
talk
much.
about him anymore. He's
No
just
one
gonna
cares.
disappear.
No
Like
one
the
cares.
only reason he even got arrested is because like his life was in danger and they were like watching him.
What's your take on what he did or what happened? What's your guys' take on that?
But he snitched on his home. He's
Yeah, talk to me about that. Where's BG's head on the snitching aspect?
There's two sides to it. There's
Snitches
the
Snitches get stitches?
Yeah, of course.
pretty much, yeah. Like
That was a weird. That
he pulled a goof move, 100%.
Well,
Like,
I
yes.
don't
His
know, man.
people were
Because he was
stealing
pissed they were
from him.
stealing from him. Like, for instance, if Cameron's all of a sudden, if I'm Cameron's friend, like he does something stupid, I wouldn't snitch on him, right? I'd be like, you're an idiot, you're fucking dumb.
Bro,
but
that's-
if I find out he's stealing from me, I ain't going to prison for you. Fuck you, man. And he pretty much told everyone to go fuck themselves. He fired everybody, and he did it publicly. That's why he was in danger.
Yeah, but
You're
you can't
also
do
not
that.
a
Here's-
blood-
here's the thing. Here's
blood
the thing.
rapper
You
from
literally-
Brooklyn.
Without that gang, he wouldn't have had anything.
Right.
He wouldn't have been able to spout off and do all those type of videos. He wouldn't have had any type of protection
No
or
clout.
any type of legitimacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like they made him, bro. They like he's at the end of the day, especially by street code, like he's indebted to them, bro. Like the street code's totally different. You want to enter that life and be part of that life, you're part of it.
Yeah, that's true.
Nobody, and like he was. They
fair.
caught him doing shit too. It wasn't like he was innocent.
No,
still
he was
trying to-
there with them. Like
He was trying
they
to bang with him.
That's what I mean. He
hanging
was trying to
around
be
with
part of it. He was trying to live the life, and it's like you're not about that life. And then that's where it comes to the other side of it. It's like you're not about that life. So like, here's the thing, and we talk about this all the time. There's snitching, and then there's just being a human. If I witness somebody fucking murder somebody on the street, and a cop asks me what happened, I'm going to tell them.
Yeah.
Like if it's just random cold-blooded murder, like I get that. Like, you know what I mean? If I did something with somebody and we did some shit together, and the cops come at me, I'm not gonna rat my homie out because it's different. But like, just general life principles, bro, it's different. But like in his situation, that's not general life principle.
'Cause they
You
did it
chose,
together- they
you
did it
chose to
together.
be in that. You chose to have that gang. You chose to have that affiliation. And then when shit got too deep for you, you just fucking bailed out, ratted, and fucking like.
But that's
not what that life is about.
That's the whole thing about Dancing with the Devil, though. As soon as you cross a line, it just gets deeper and deeper and deeper, and you can't fucking
100%.
control it anymore. And you're like, "Fuck! How did I get so far?"
And that's exactly what that
That's
gang
like
life
this
is, bro.
life.
Gang life and street life, bro. It's just a spiral. You're either gonna end up dead or in jail, and it's like a lot of people don't actually realize that until it's too late for themselves.
Well, yeah, because it's all cool, it's all good, because it's just a. Well,
the money's coming in, you got this,
little
you got-
temptation. It's good. It's all, and then all of a sudden it just gets too deep.
Yeah.
And you're like, "How did I end up here?" And I'm just like, well,
He
that's
was
what
he was mad stupid with it though. Like he was not smooth at all. You know, they say like the real OGs move in silence. There was no silence to his like.
Well,
but that's what popped him off, I guess.
That's what happens. Everyone.
This is exactly why you can't be a gangster and do music at the same time.
You literally can't. You're just dry snitching on yourself.
You're literally watching. You're walking a fine line the entire fucking time, bro. You can't do even Young Jeezy when he popped off had the DEA and the FBI like raid him and like you can go. This is all public information. Yeah, bro, because he was a huge gangster for a long time.
Oh, Jeezy,
that guy's a gangster.
Jeezy, Young Jeezy.
That guy's a clean cut guy.
Oh,
man.
Young Jeezy, one of the biggest
Jeezy.
gangsters in Atlanta.
For sure.
Yeah, Jeezy went hard in the paint.
One of the biggest, him and Gucci, bro, and they had beef with each other for a long time. Like it was, but
Gucci,
he
man.
got out. Like
Gucci
Jeezy got out as soon as he started getting legit money. He understood. Like there's no way he.
50 did it too.
50 is the exact same thing.
There's a song that from Power of the Dollar that everyone still rags on 50 for. I forget the name, but apparently he was snitching on everybody. Oh, I got to figure out what that song is. He just drops all of these old school New York gangster names. And people are... That's apparently the reason why he got shot.
Wait, how
But did he get shot and then do it, though?
No. He dropped the song and then
Power
got
of a
shot.
Dollar. Yeah, that's before
Power of the Dollar.
Back.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
Oh, I forget the name of that song.
That's old.
I need to find that song. That song's dope, though. I listen to it all the time, but he just drops probably like 12, 15 people's names. He's just name-dropping the whole thing. And then, yeah, that's what ended up getting him the shot those 9 times. Right? And then he says what was it?
Many men.
Yeah. What does he say? Is he drops the other guy's name. He's like, he got shot like I did, but he didn't fucking breathe it. Yeah. That was the whole thing.
Yeah,
and,
he did, yeah.
Yeah, what did he say? And he got hit like he did, but he didn't fucking breathe it. Yeah.
No fucking reason.
Yeah, no fucking
I gotta believe I'm here for a fucking reason, because he got shot. But I got shot, but he ain't fucking breathing.
Yeah, and he got...
Yeah.
No, he says...
he got shot like I got shot, but he ain't breathing.
Yeah, but he says his name. He says his name, something. He got shot down. Anyways, yeah, that was... there's a few people that were able to do it and get out. Like, maybe even like, would Snoop Dogg be considered like that? Or is he just like selling weed and stuff?
Snoop Dogg is a prime example of someone who got out as soon as he started getting money.
Yeah.
That's the thing, bro. A lot of anybody with a good head on their shoulders is just trying to get out of that lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the people that have this stain mentality and they're just like so washed up and locked into this lifestyle that either they don't understand or they don't know how to get out of it. Like I got friends firsthand that deal with this shit all the time.
Yeah.
They're still stuck in this mind state. It's a mind state more than it is anything. It's like, and you pretty much bring yourself down. This need to have to be harder than everybody. This need to always have something to prove. Like you gotta like one up. You gotta be the hardest guy in the fucking room all the time. But it's like.
You don't have to be.
Bro, go sit in a room with fucking 5 millionaires and see which one of them is trying to be tougher than the other one. I guarantee you're not going to see that.
No.
Like, in the real world, it just doesn't operate.
I've been in rooms with them.
No,
like,
they
those
flex wallets, bro.
motherfuckers
They
flex money.
wallets.
They always
It's a different flex. It's a different flex.
Money's different.
flex.
Flexing success, that's almost like human nature.
Man,
you want to brag about the things that you're proud of that you've done. But I'm talking about, like, what'd you say? What? Like, you say the wrong word, they try to fight you. Like, this is, like, that mind state of the whole, like... That's a real mind state. It's a real problem. It's almost like a mental illness when it gets to a certain extent.
But that's a sign of insecurity when someone goes down to physical
100%,
level. It's the
bro.
lowest form of communication.
Well, that's
right?
what
So
happens
what
when you grow up in a shitty neighborhood.
You lose all control of everything. You lose everything. That last thing you have left is you're just like, fuck, I'll fight you.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why like people who are on the streets got nothing left. That's all they want to do is fight people.
Right. They don't
And
care.
you're
They have
just
nothing to
fuck,
lose.
man. I'm just like, that's the lowest form of communication. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Charlemagne the God always talks about that when he's talking to rappers on his show, and he's like, "Why are you still about this life, man? Like, get your money and do this. Whatever you think about Charlemagne the God, people hate him. A lot of people actually don't like him, but yeah,
You're not a boss. You're not a boss. You think your kid's gonna be able to take over your job? You're not a boss.
Who said that? Somebody said that to Charlemagne.
Charlemagne, yeah. Who was
that?
Was it 6ix9ine?
Jermaine Dupri
no.
Jay-Z's
guy.
Why can't I?
Jay-Z's
Dame Dash.
Dame Dash.
Yeah, Dame Dash went on there and just schooled Charlemagne.
Yeah, you don't own this radio station.
You don't
That's
own
not
this
your
radio.
last
He's like,
name.
what are you leaving to your kid? He's like, if you died today, what would your kid have? He's like, I have an empire for my fucking child. He's like,
you can't just
he's
give
like,
him a
there's not a
job.
single person in this world that could tell me what to do with my life, my money, or my
That's
time.
deep. That's deep.
Yeah,
I hear that too. That really makes me mad when people, I'm a boss. Oh, that makes me mad.
Yeah, I don't like when people say there's a proper way to go about it, but Dame Dash was trying to make a point.
He did, but he did make a point. I agreed with
I agreed with him.
It's like Charlemagne was like, yeah, he makes decent money, he makes good money, this and that, but what the guy was saying is like, you don't own any of this shit.
Yeah. If he stops coming to work, shit's gonna go on
without him.
Yeah, bro.
It's like, you can't just all of a sudden next day, you know, like your kid just all of a sudden takes your seat.
Yeah.
I'd be like, who the fuck is this guy? He's got to go. 100%. You could maybe train him, but run him through the corporation. But you're right.
You're not passing anything.
You're not passing anything
that doesn't always happen.
You're not passing down the empire.
It's almost rare for, you know.
Yeah. No, that's very rare. Where you have
especially in entertainment.
Entertainment, yeah. It's not like someone's name me one child of a famous person that's like killing it in the like we grew up watching this actor, and there's like, where's their son?
Jaden Smith.
I guess there's one.
No, that's what I mean.
Well, I mean, like that. I'm sorry.
No, he's right.
There's a couple famous actors too. I'm trying to think. I just can't think off the top of my head. But there's like
the Baldwins. The Baldwins.
Hilton. All the Baldwins.
The Baldwins.
All the Baldwins.
All six of them.
It happens a lot more in acting than it does in music.
Yeah.
Well, not
I think it happens
too much
in music
in acting.
more.
But you still, even in acting, they
music,
still have to. They have to make their own way.
Yeah, Jaden Smith's making his own way.
Makes his own way. Jaden Smith's
got to put up his own hella original. Like
he's got to do. The only thing that he has like going for him is that he's got his recording studio in his house,
and he doesn't have to work a normal
job.
Listen, bro. When Jaden decided he wanted to do music, Will was like, okay, well, I'll get you to sit down with every record label. I'll get you the best producers. Like, it's Will Smith. He can get you literally anything you want.
Well, not only that, but Will Smith just was trying to live vicariously through his kid because that's what he was. He was a musician. Yeah. That's what he was. He was a musician.
I don't think he's trying to live vicariously through him. I think Will Smith probably had a more buck wild life than Jaden ever will, to be honest.
Well, yeah.
Like, he was on his album. He was on his Icon.
He remixed the Icon.
Icon Living.
You ever see that?
It was actually pretty good.
Yeah, it was
you haven't heard Icon Living?
No.
I'm an Icon Living.
You never heard that song?
What was
you never even heard Icon?
What?
No, Icon Living. What was what's the guy's name? Murs. Murs got a podcast too, and Murs is talking about. He was making the point that Will Smith is the GOAT of rapping, and like only through his accolades, and he was like, he's like a platinum this. He sold the most.
He's the first rapper to ever win a Grammy.
First platinum rapper.
Yeah, and then like the numbers that he sold though were like so high. It's like
Jazzy Jeff did.
Oh, what? Girls of the World Ain't Nothing But Trouble.
Did you hear about this story about how he even like basically he had this? He said where he basically made it famous off this thing, but then he spent all his money and he was fucking broke.
Yeah, and then he got Fresh Prince and it like saved his ass.
Yeah, we're like he says one thing about being famous and broke is that like you're still famous, but when you're riding the bus, they're just like, yo man, you're what's his face? I'm like, yeah. You're on the bus with the person next to you, right? And then he says he went to a party. He goes, his girlfriend told him to, he's like, okay, enough of this shit. You need to go where the people are doing it and do it. You know, goes, well, where am I supposed to go? Well, where are they hanging out? And so he's just like, so he went to the Arsenio Hall show and just hung out there and just hung out at the Arsenio Hall show. Met a guy, and he basically took him back to go hang out with Quincy Jones.
Where do you hear this story?
He tells the story.
That's
Will Smith has so much dope content on the internet, man.
Awesome.
So Quincy,
he tells these dope stories.
Yeah.
He's got a really good YouTube channel.
It was good because he goes like this. He goes, Quincy says, all right, cool. So he's putting all this thing. Quincy's a little drunk. He's like, all right, cool, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, all right, you're going to read this thing. Go take 10 minutes. Go read the script and come back in 2. So he goes, Quincy, I'm not really ready to read this script. You know, maybe we can do it next week. He goes, yeah, okay, that's cool. We can do it next week. Yeah, and we can bring a guy back in next week. Or what might happen is the schedule will get messed up with this and that. And he starts giving all these excuses. Or you could take 10 minutes right now and change your life. He's like, fuck, all right. So
real shit though.
10 minutes.
That's how you get shit done, man.
Yeah,
100%. Ain't nobody got time.
You gotta do it at the time.
Nobody's got fucking time. You want this opportunity? You
gotta do it at the time.
Right now.
That's fucked.
And it did, and he literally said, he said once they did the audition, Quincy Jones said, He goes, who's your lawyer? He goes, I don't have a lawyer. Quincy goes, okay, you're his lawyer. He started fucking piecing people together, and I guess the 2 lawyers went into a limousine and signed the contract on a fucking napkin for the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
What?
So fire, and changed his entire life.
Changed his whole life.
That's crazy. And you know what? Not just his life, but it affected all. Like,
this is what I tell you all the time.
Who didn't want to be the Fresh Prince?
This is why I always just go hang out at certain places and do certain things, because you never know what's going to happen when you're hanging around the right people. Yeah. Opportunity springs when you're there. Like, I'm always like, it doesn't matter. I go to every show. I try to go hang out with Like I have a decent amount of like semi-famous friends, and
you do actually. Yeah.
When you go hang like,
I like how you
every
say
time,
semi-famous.
every time, well, because I don't have like world famous friends.
I know
but
what you're saying. I don't know.
I think Merc is world famous by now.
Merc is getting there, but he's not like
a million subscribers doesn't mean you're like, bro.
Yeah, that's dope and shit.
You're world famous.
Like he is very successful and he's doing very well.
He will. When he pops off is when he breaks into the mainstream.
But I'm talking like
okay,
because right now he's making a shitload of money living off of YouTube.
Fair enough.
Well, and he's about like once he just signed that deal with Bryan Cranston, so like you're gonna see a lot of big. Like in my opinion, I feel like once he drops his new album, you'll see a lot bigger stuff like Hot Ones, Breakfast Club. Like you're gonna start to see him on all these big major publications now. Like he's got Bryan Cranston in his corner. This guy fucking manages Gucci Mane and like a bunch of huge people. Like he's got every connection you could ever want. So that will start to pop off. And like once he starts to get on the Tonight Show and like these big things, that's like.
Well, what happened with Tyler the Creator back when he? I remember when he first came out, and I was like,
Tyler the Creator just had the #1 album.
Which I don't understand because the album was trash.
It was weird. But he went on Jimmy Kimmel, I think it was. Or it was, anyways, they performed Sandwiches live or something when he was wearing the mask and everything. But then that's when it really popped off, was after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had, it was a Tonight
TV
Show
audience.
or something. Yeah, it was and then that's when everyone was
and
like,
everybody watches that.
What the fuck was that? Going harder than a, whatever he says, right? Midget jumping over me. Right? But he said that on like live television. Harder than a midget.
I like Tyler.
I like you triggering everybody. Yeah. I'm so triggered right now.
I just remember everyone in the audience was like,
audio sensitive.
Tyler the Creator's like a silent killer in the rap industry.
Yeah, he's different.
In the sense that you don't really hear about him much unless he does something, but when he does something, it always makes an impact. And then it always does better than anybody in the world thinks it will. His fan base is insane. He has such a huge cult following.
Who's this?
I like
Tyler the Creator.
I actually like it. It's weird.
Yonkers was the one that got him big, wasn't it?
That was like his first big like break. Yeah.
Sick.
He was just on what's it with Funk
and then
Flex?
just everybody too, Earl Sweatshirt and all the other guys like in Odd Future. Like the Odd Future movement is what really blew everybody up. He was just the main guy to do the first.
He was talking about banging dudes. Hold on, pause this whole thing. He was talking about banging dudes with Funk Flex on his show. You know, drop the bomb on him, Flex. Drop the bomb. He was.
That was just recently.
I know, he was freestyling.
He's like, I go to ASAP Rocky Swedish prison just to bang all the men. And you say shit like that.
Yeah, and you see Funk Flex's face, like, why? No, that's what he said. He was like, why?
Shock value shit. I love it.
Yeah, but he's gay, doesn't he? So it's like true. I don't know if he's gay or not. Is he like a Daylight? You know how Daylight fronts like he's gay and he's talking about.
I don't know.
What's it with?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Can you just put your mic, your receiver?
Move it away because you're grabbing and hold it on it. There you go.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, figure it out, Cam.
Yeah, I'm out here, man. Yeah, shit's wild in the music industry these days. That's definitely for sure. It's
different. It's such a different culture now too.
Yeah.
The internet changes everything.
Well, nowadays, do you even need to sign a record label anymore, or do you just need a distribution?
Depends. Depends what kind of team and what kind of head you have on your shoulders. Like, really, at the end of the day, a lot of guys do need record labels because they don't know how to do anything, and their team is not very diligent. A lot of these guys will get a couple million views on their YouTube videos, and they'll start to pop off, and then their fucking Joe Schmo friend will just come help manage them, and they don't really know what they're doing, and then, you know, just sign a shitty deal, or they just need the whole shebang. As opposed to then you have artists like Merc or like people like me that have been self-sufficient for a long time that had no choice but to learn the industry, otherwise you're not going to advance. So when it comes time, like, I don't think I would need an actual record deal. I think I'd be sufficed
why?
With the
what are they going to provide you for? Beats? And like, I got beats. So like,
it's like beats, videos.
You're going to your studio time? I got my own fucking studio.
All you need is connections, right? All you need is connections.
Yeah, which is radio connections.
Exactly, you get that with the distribution. Their job is to push your shit to as many people, and that's their only job. And that's sweet, because then
but that's when you're saying we have a distribution deal. I'm like, I don't need you to lend me any money. Take a percentage of whatever you sell.
Well, some distribution deals involve money.
Which one?
Some distribution deals.
It
depends on what deal.
Depends on the
deal. Depends on what deals you get. Like
he read the book.
They'll pay you out. Like
yeah, like certain instances. Say I get a distribution deal right now. They're like, okay, well, I'll give you X amount of dollars so I can for your older content. I want the rights to your older content so I can distribute it and do that. And so they'll give you X amount of dollars.
No, but what I mean is like most of these guys who send record deals get fucked because they get a $250,000 advance on an album they didn't fucking make. and then they have to make the
have to
album,
pay it
and
back,
then on the album flops, and now they're $250,000 in fucking debt.
Oh
they
yeah,
spent all the
no,
money.
exactly. It's the worst.
You know,
That's why the
they went
distribution deals are dope, because the distribution deals will give you. They'll usually buy your content. Is what essentially they're doing.
They're licensing it.
Yeah, they're like, we'll give you X amount of dollars, and then we'll take X amount of dollars until we get X amount of dollars, and then it's back to you.
We'll license this. We'll pay this much money to
It's
license.
like, I'll
it
give
for
you
the
$1 million.
next-
I make $2 million off it, and then after that, you're good.
It's a crazy
Yeah.
thing with, well, just adding to it is with Nipsey Hussle. He apparently owned all of his masters.
Right.
Yeah, he owned everything.
Right.
Yeah. That's
Which is
big, that's big.
that's the crazy thing about Nipsey. He was poised to blow up with, like, in 2010 with French, Big Sean, and Wiz Khalifa. Like, it was weird. They pushed the 4 of those guys. All 4 of them were on the cover of XXL together. They did a song and a video together. They were the 4 guys that were set to blow that year, and they all did except Nipsey, because he was the only one that didn't sign a deal.
Yeah.
He was the only one that didn't sign a major label deal. He wasn't fucking with all that. He's like, I'll just do this on my own. I'll take the time. And it took him almost 10 extra years to do it, but
He doesn't get to see
completely
the fruits of his labor, but I mean,
But
his
he
family
family does, and
yeah.
like,
in perpetuity, yeah.
and he did. He still got to see a lot of it, man. And the last couple of years in Nipsey's life were like by far the best for him ever. Like, he was just starting to be like really big. Like, he would have blown up.
Logic
huge.
is big too on his own. He did everything by himself too. Didn't he?
I think he had major help.
A lot of these guys have help.
He has industry help for sure.
Which one?
He had major industry help. Chance is another guy who had major industry help.
Chance is 100% independent, but has like the most insane manager.
Who's his uncle?
And
his uncle is works for Barack Obama and started working for Barack Obama the week before he became president. And then Chance went from writing in his basement to co-writing for Eminem in about a span of 2 months.
That's easy though.
That
takes the one right person. That takes the one right person to hear your shit.
Like, he doesn't write for Eminem because he's not good enough.
And he didn't write.
He's good enough, and someone made the connection.
He was on some concept writing team for
Eminem still has co-writers and stuff.
Yeah,
but people that write his hooks and stuff like that.
I bet you if you look at I've never looked at the thing, but I bet you it's like fucking still long.
Yeah,
like the list of like name, like
when you have to name everybody that does anything.
Anything, yeah, that's true.
Anything. But I mean, like just I mean, you have to have some kind of industry connect to get your music publicated. Yeah. Like to get even to get these guys who are publishing your music, you know, to I'm drawing blanks, copyright and publishing rights, and giving to get a piece of that and getting into these labels and getting their it's hard. It's not easy to get A&Rs to look at you. You need a fan base now. It's
all about the numbers, right?
Yeah,
it's all about the numbers, because once you get to that level, those guys don't give a fuck who you are.
Right.
All they're looking at is saying, okay, how much money do I have to put in? What's my return?
Yeah. Right.
That's 100%. What they look at. It says, okay, this guy draws in, 10 million people. Yeah. 10 million people. Okay, if I can buy his album for $1 million and I can get 10 million people to buy it, then I make fucking $9 million off of that. That's a good deal for me. Let's do it, right? Yeah. Like it's 100. They don't care. They literally don't care about anything else. It's just strictly a number. It works the same way in the film industry. Everyone's like, oh, they're these fucking guys in Hollywood don't give a shit about. They're just looking about what sells and who's buying what. I'm like, that's all they look at is the numbers, and that's all they worry about, right? And people are just like, oh, it's you have to help these people. I'm just like, those people don't give a shit about helping anybody. They just want to know whatever sells. Yeah, that's all they care about.
It's all a numbers game. But that's like with a lot of big business anyway. Like a lot of big business.
All big business works that way, man. Even like houses and stuff like that. People who work in real estate, they'll buy a shitty house in a shitty neighborhood. They'll buy it because they know that they can clean it up, fix it up, and flip it for a profit. It's all that's how they think. They think differently, right?
Just understanding the market and then making your moves based on the market. But that's why you get so many missed. Oh, we didn't sign Big Sean until he walked into. But you get those random stories of like, oh, this guy's an incredible artist. Let's sign him before he does blow up.
Yeah,
that happens sometimes, but it's less and less nowadays, right? It's like nobody's getting signed really just based off their talent.
It's all numbers.
It's all numbers. That's the same reason why Eminem does these shitty fucking pop records, right? Yeah. Is because he's just like,
trying to get these numbers.
He's like, shit, let's go after this market over here and get this. I got these guys. let's go after these guys. He goes after these guys, and all these guys that have been carrying him for so
Kinda
long,
mad.
they're pissed off. They go, what the fuck is that bullshit?
It might be data collecting too. He's a smart dude, I bet, and he's got a smart team around him. Maybe they're like, you know what? We already have the heads. Heads like him. Let's go after the female demographic or the sub 16,
and see what we can get over there.
See where you can.
And then what happens is you might come up with an album that's a mix. And
that's what we're talking about. That's what he's been doing.
He's got a mix of everything to try to see if he can if he can have one or two songs that
appease everybody.
But you can't appease everybody. That's the problem, because one guy wants to listen to the whole album, and he can't listen to the whole album because he's got a fucking chick flick song in there. Yeah. You know? He's like, fuck this album. Yeah, because every time he listens to the album, that one song shows up and it pisses him off.
Yeah. I just want those hard Eminem drug bars, like when he was just ripped. Like I just want those constantly. That's all I want to hear.
That goes with anything. Like the guy's fucking rich, happy, and old, and sober.
Yeah, I know. That's.
That's not.
How's he gonna make fucking angry drug music when he's sober and happy?
I know. That's
what we talked about with Jay-Z.
I want him on drugs.
Like, what does Jay-Z rap about? Being married and having an affair. Like that's what he rapped.
That's what he rapped about, right?
So I have this.
That was a good album.
Let's talk about this all the time. Jay-Z, his music matured with his fan base, and Eminem's did not. And this is why.
Ooh, that's true.
This is why he gets a lot more backlash. And this is why Jay-Z is considered the GOAT. A big reason, at least I think. Yeah. Which is unspoken. Like it's not talked about too much. But yeah, he's matured with his fan base. He makes music that people can relate to consistently.
So because he knows he's dealing with the same fan base that he had back for the past 20, 30 years, or whatever it is. Yeah. He's been doing it. But Eminem keeps flying new people.
Trying to find new people. And he's just like.
Like, because I'm not listening to Eminem
I don't even
anymore.
necessarily saying it's like, because you can't relate to it anymore.
Yeah, I don't like.
You can't relate or can't get into it.
I used to listen to the old shit.
Yeah. Like, when I was a kid, he rapped about being a fucked up kid in broken homes. Like, I related to everything of that so much. I felt like that was me. I felt like he was talking to me, man. I was like, much so that I became a rapper. Like, this was like, that hella motivated. But I listen to it now and I'm like, I don't care. Like, I like it, it's cool, but like I just can't relate to it. Like, and same with Jay-Z. Jay-Z never would have made a song like 444 15 years ago.
No.
Never. Or the story of OJ, or an album like 444.
Yeah, story of OJ is what you're saying.
He would have never made story of OJ 15 years ago.
That was one of the songs.
But you listen to it now and you're like, yo, this is insane. This is actually so dope.
That album flopped actually though. In comparison, and the tour flopped too. It wasn't sold out. It was empty. Dude. 444, not the one before that. Which I went to. That one
We went to.
That was sweet.
Those ones weren't nearly sold out. Like those ones, the numbers weren't good. It may have looked busy in Edmonton, but like a lot of the other spots were very low. Big markets were like not sold out, empty sections, which was really odd.
Yeah, that is really odd.
Yeah. He brought Vic Mensa with him though.
What?
He brought Vic Mensa with him. If he brought any slight,
Vic Mensa.
Exactly. Right. Well, if he brought Beyonce, that places.
That's a whole nother show.
That's a whole nother thing.
That's a whole nother show.
That's a whole nother show.
You know what I'm saying.
If he brought Beyonce, there'd be 10 Jay-Z shows.
Well, no, okay, not Beyonce.
The beehives or whatever you want to call them.
Whatever they
buy
are.
all the tickets.
Maybe not Beyonce.
Yeah, there'd be 10 dudes there for Jay-Z and all the girls.
I can't have you on my shows because every time you come, your fucking girls take over.
Nobody sings any words to my songs.
None of my fans are there. You can't come. I'm sorry. You can't.
They're like, cheater!
Bunch of women's rights type shit showing up. Fuck you, cheater.
She has the most. She's notorious for having the craziest fans, like above and beyond.
Lady
fans.
Gaga too. Lady Gaga.
What do they call her? Her minions, or what are they?
The Beehive.
Beehive.
Lady Gaga's.
Lady Gaga are the monsters.
The monsters.
The monsters. Okay.
The Beehive.
Whatever the fuck it.
The Beehive is crazy. That's a crazy atmosphere that's going on. Like I do not want to be in the Beehive.
That's a vibe.
Well, shit. Didn't one time some girl look at Jay-Z and they all attacked her on Twitter or some shit like that? Like that's how crazy.
Oh yeah, no. Is. Yeah. So this girl they're sitting courtside, and this girl who's she's like the wife of some kind of part owner or something. She leans over and she's like, "Did they get your drink order right?" And she leans back over and he's like, "Yeah." Social media is just fucking
buzzing because everyone's taking pictures. Like, constantly.
They're like, this girl's hitting on Jay-Z. Like, oh my god, she has to delete her social medias Get off.
They rape her on it. Like they
Bro.
literally
So
come.
bad.
They come in like a swarm of bees, and
you
they all
imagine?
come in there and they all post their little bees things. Bzz, bzz, bzz. They're like, so her poor phone's going off.
I've
like,
seen that picture because the girl's leaning in like that. But since you take a still of something,
Yeah,
it looks
bad.
like she's like
Yeah, she's like grabbing his.
she's trying to
I
grab
don't
his
know.
leg or something. But it's like when you snap a still of something, like I don't know, you can
Yeah.
pretty
You
much
look at-
turn anything into anything if you put a title on it.
Oh man.
The Beehive, that's a.
She turns on her Instagram. She's got 20 new followers. She's happy for 3 seconds, and then she's got 4,000 comments. They're all hate mail.
Oh,
And she's
man.
like, "Fuck."
The internet's real
Fuck
and ruthless like
Jay-Z.
that. Though. That could literally happen to anybody.
Yeah.
Literally happen to anybody. You could have one bad thing about you happen and go viral, and then you're just done for life.
You're actually done for life. What about that one kid? That was. I heard the whole story on that. And the mainstream media didn't cover it like the whole story, but it was that dude in the "Make America Great" hat, and he was standing with that Indian guy, the native guy.
Yeah. And they
remember that one?
And they flipped it. They flipped it too because it was like there was they didn't tell the first part of the story. And so they didn't tell the first part of the story of when they.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember all
I
about
think
that. Yeah.
I heard
They
something
made
And the
on it.
kid was just standing his ground, like he was.
The kid
there.
said he was like nervous.
He looked nervous. Like they were like, oh, he's got a smirk on his face. I'm like, the kid stood his ground and he stood there, and then
Well,
the
weren't they
guy
all there
was
for, like-
banging a drum right in front of his face the whole time.
Yeah,
and
they
I
were
was
doing
just
like a school chant. They were like doing their school
the kids
chant,
were
like a
around, were
rally.
chanting around, and
And these native guys just walked right up to him and like,
yeah. But there was also what was happening is there was all these different
There's the
different
Israel
protests.
guys. What are the
there was all
Israel
these
dudes?
different protests that were going on in front of the White House at the time that they had the school
Oh, okay.
thing, and it was just like. It was just I think someone gave him a hard time because they had the.
No, there was that the tribe of Israel or something. They're like I think they're black dudes, but they just hate on everybody, and they were making fun of the native
Well, that
guys.
was the
They were
name. That
making
was
fun
the
of
name. That was the name of the group.
the tribe of Israel. What are they called? I forget
So,
their names.
I don't know, but like that they
They're like super
instigated
racist,
the whole
like
shit.
crazy racist.
They instigated the whole shit, and they.
That's what it
and
seemed like
all
from
of
the
that was
forefront.
cut
Was like,
off.
yeah.
From the thing, so they used it, and then all of a sudden, social media picks it up, or
Oh,
like,
no.
and everyone just focuses on this micro escalation.
One little white kid with a fucking
Yeah.
The one kid who was indifferent.
Well, he was.
almost.
Yeah, he didn't care. He was just standing there. But like the guy on the beating
Oh,
the
no.
drum, apparently he could have gone like all sorts of different directions. But he took his drum and walked right up to the guy's face and
Yeah.
started banging it in the kid's face when he could have just gone up the stairs 5 feet to the right. So he's just banging the thing, and the
So
kid's
there was
kind of
like, like there's.
But then the one snapshot of that goes off, and then everyone makes a whole different narrative.
Yeah.
And then the kid's life
No,
gets
yeah.
ruined.
That's the power of social media.
Yeah, it's.
But it's also like, I don't know, man. There's stigmas around this stuff though too. Like if you're gonna wear a "Make America Great" hat, you're gonna get fucked with.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
Yeah.
such a stigma. Like no matter what you as a human being feel like that having that hat on stands for yourself, the fact is that the stigma is there. It's real, and you're going to
Do you
catch
know what's
flack
always
for it.
funny about those hats? If you look at those hats, the tag says "Made in China."
No.
No, it
No.
doesn't. It
China,
can't.
China.
China.
You ever watch the
Yeah,
8-minute
yeah, they
Donald
got
Trump
all
China,
those
compilation where he
China.
says China?
Like,
China.
I've seen
China.
one of those postings where they show
China.
it made America
China.
great again, and it's like
China.
the chat's
China.
made in China.
He says China.
Like
so
how
many
do
times.
how do you even look yourself in the like?
Well, that's the big problem. That's the
Oh,
big
man.
economic problem is that everybody right now is sending all of their money to China and getting product in return.
Right.
So what happens is because all the cash flow, like the Silk Road, is going there, we're left with product.
With garbage products.
I'm like, we can't fucking trade garbage product with each other. You know, we can. We're starting to. People are starting to thrift shop to each other and trade shit. But like,
Hash
you know,
coins? Hash coins?
What's a hash coin?
You don't know what a hash
Trailer
coin
Park
is?
Boys?
No, not in a long time.
Oh,
Also, Ricky just
I
used to,
remember
Ricky
that.
just used to make little coins out of hash, and they'd be like a fucking
They put
couple
their-
grams of hash, and he'd just pay people. He'd go to like the donaire shop or the taxi or whatever. He'd take hash coins, and he'd just pay them in hash coins.
Like, sure.
That's so Canadian.
So hash coins.
so Canadian.
It is.
But that's the biggest problem right
great
now is that
Canadian
like the whole point of currency is that the current stays within your communities.
Right.
Right. That's why those communities that always keep money within their own
Which ones are those,
organizations.
Stevie?
Well, you have
Asian
East
communities are
Indians
huge,
do it.
and East Indians.
The Asians do it.
Do the Jewish people do it?
The Jewish do it for sure. They're probably the
Pretty much everybody except like white and black people.
They are,
Pretty much, yeah.
They,
Well, you know what?
they understand it the most because what happens is they sell to everybody, but only buy from each other.
Right.
So their value, their wealth increases exponentially at that point.
Is that like an unspoken thing with them?
Yeah,
I think
what
so.
do you think?
Well, bro, this is it. Yo, black people used to do this in the States a long time ago too, like all the time. Like back when there was like after slavery, like post-slavery, but like full like gentrification, racism era, like that was huge. Like Killer Mike did a documentary, that little 6 series thing on Netflix.
I don't know.
No,
I haven't seen it.
Oh,
but
so,
yeah.
Well, he did one episode where he could only buy black. So you can only buy from black-owned businesses by black people. And, like, how hard it was for him to try to do that in Atlanta was, like, almost next to impossible. Like, he couldn't get food, he couldn't get transportation, he couldn't get... So the whole thing was he had a show to do in 3 days, and he had to get there by only black... So he had to find a black-owned bus company. He couldn't eat anywhere because nobody was... He's found a full black-owned business, but they get their chicken from a white farm or this and that. He couldn't smoke weed. He couldn't, like, any of this. He's like, 60 years ago, this entire neighborhood was all black-owned. There's black people buying from black people and circumventing that money in that community and keep exactly like that. You grow the wealth
keep it in there, and the wealth of the community grows.
Exactly. Buy from yourself, sell to everybody, and like.
That's why it's so important to people to buy local and don't buy from like you have a Walmart, for instance. Your head office is not here in Edmonton.
No.
It's just a thing where we pay the money there. The money goes back to head office, and then they just send more shit product enough to get more money, cash flow sent down. So it's the same thing. Like, they understand it. They understand how that exponential growth works.
A lot of people can't afford to buy local. That's another thing. It's not cost effective. Yeah, it's not. It's so much easier to go Walmart. You're literally spending 30 to 50% of what you would at Walmart than you would if you buy local.
Yeah.
Which is huge.
And they're getting it cheaper because they're buying it in mass bulk.
That's
Yeah,
what
they
I'm
got
saying.
crazy buying power, especially from China.
Walmart's like the only
And now
place in
they're
the fucking world that you can buy
vertically
tons of different things for $1.
They make
still.
their own
You can't even
things.
buy things for $1 at the dollar store anymore, but you can at Walmart.
You
Which
go to
is
the dollar store,
here's a-
everything's $3.50.
yeah,
Here's a hack, though.
100%. Dollar
It's
out
still
of my ass.
$3.50. $3.50.
The hack is buy your cleaning supplies at the dollar store, not Walmart.
And your cologne.
Oh yeah, it's easy.
Yeah.
That's
And
easy.
your what is it called? Not
dollar
Bros. You gotta
store
buy
cologne?
Bros.
What?
Bros.
Bros.
Instead of Boss, is it like a knockout?
Yeah. I bought it as a joke once. But then, okay, my normal cologne's like, I don't know, $120, like whatever
wear?
it is. Hugo Boss.
Nice.
Yeah, that's just kind of what I have. But then I saw this bottle at the dollar store, and I was like, what? They're selling Hugo Boss here? And then I looked closer at it, and it was Bros. I was like, that's funny.
Yes.
And it was so funny. And it was like the same bottle.
You ever
just
been to
Bros.
Urban Planet? It's like the cheap clothing store in all the malls.
Yeah,
I like their clothes actually, man.
They have some. They have some.
No, but I actually think
I can tell they have no kneecaps on.
You just take your knees out, bro.
$5 off. $5 off. We're just
These
gonna
are from
let's take some of this material. But that store has knockoff cologne for every brand of cologne that there is in the world. Like they literally have like 80 men's and 80 female perfumes, like all
Dude, it's
knockoffs.
just,
Dude, it's
just,
the same-
it's
it's honestly
just
the same shit.
It's, perfume is the biggest markup I've ever seen in
it's
my life.
incredible.
$100 for a solution?
Incredible.
Like,
bro.
really? Like,
It's
they make that
ridiculous.
shit in bats,
It's
man.
like 6 cents for the liquid.
Yeah,
It's the
if-
same thing like pop. Same thing with soda. Like the pop syrup. Like I buy those bibs all the time. Like you pay $50 for the bib, and the profit margin's very high. It's in thousands
That's like
of
the
percent.
box of syrup.
Yeah, it's just the syrup thing. Yeah, it lasts you.
Yeah, like that's why
years.
that's why these perfume companies, all they need is a brand. If you have a brand that's really popular and really famous, that's why they go to famous person and say, "Hey, listen, I got a scent, you got a brand. Why don't we partner up together and I can sell this thing? We'll make fucking
You don't gotta
millions."
do absolutely anything.
You
but
don't
a
have to
photo
do
shoot.
anything or anything. You just have to we'll just put your name on this product and I'll give you 30% of the profits. And they sell a shit ton of it
And
because
they,
your
they
name is
last
on
for
it.
like a year or two. I've noticed like a lot of celebrity fragrances.
brands
They'll
go
pop
down.
off for a bit, and then you find them in the $20 section all the time. But it's still like
Still crazy margins.
it's
The margins are huge. How much is it costing to make a bat? That's not $100 bottle. Like you're buying the brand.
Some perfume does take. I know it's kind of crazy. Like what's that perfume that's made out of whale throw up? Like literally, they take
Whale vomit.
Yeah, so they scour the beaches for whale vomit.
Okay, all
And
of
the-
that foam stuff.
sounds
and
so
it-
cost effective.
Yeah,
and-
well, that doesn't sound expensive.
No,
Like,
I'm
you
sure-
just literally-
No, but it's really expensive. Like people do this in Vancouver. They scour the beaches for this specific,
Looking thing.
and it's like a hard substance, and they break it down. They make for perfume out of it. It's like really, like exclusive.
I'm curious to see what this is.
Yeah,
I bet
look it up.
I bet you some perfume, to be honest, is very expensive because even like saffrons. You know saffrons?
No.
Saffrons for food, like you can make like saffron aioli, saffron this, saffron that. They're like these tiny little fucking little things. They're like hand picked off of like the inside of a flower. Okay. Like those things are expensive. They use saffron for
when
dyes.
they take those oils and stuff like rose petal oils and
stuff like that.
That shit's expensive.
Yeah, because
it's so concentrated though. Like that shit's concentrated. Like you can take those little things and go and like you can dilute that and make like a
there's not
yeah, aren't they making perfumes and creams out of like
there's one that says Chanel
skin?
here, but like look, this is crazy. Whale vomit could fetch $70,000.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So people legitimately do this. They go up the beaches and they look for whale throw up.
$70,000 for a vomit?
Weird rocks.
Or like a little.
Like it says it sometimes takes up to a few years for it to reach the shore, but like it's.
That's
very
bad.
$70,000 for a piece of whale vomit?
It's a quick
what
bag.
What the fuck? I'm in the wrong business, bro.
A couple in the UK could get $70,000
start a whale
for
farm.
suspected whale vomit found on the beach.
Just start a whale farm.
Start a whale
just
farm.
make them puke.
Make them puke. Everyone just
start gagging whales. just put your whole hand in the
or just get one of these big long sticks and just stick it down their throat.
Just throwing McDonald's and playing Kryple all day. Just throwing garbage in there. Yeah, banging his mixtape. Like, that's gonna. Yeah, I'm sorry.
You're supposed to be his manager, man.
Can I buy her some cereal?
Oh, shit. You're supposed to be his manager.
Manage these nuts. That's about it, man.
Yo, think of the royalties if you get, like, just, SoCan venue, get a whale in there and just.
Probably make perfume out of the ash on your knuckles, too. It's probably a decent substance. You know what I'm saying? Scratch your leg again, see what happens. So this guy scratched his leg earlier and his whole sock had dust. You ever sand drywall on a wall?
You can tell how close they are because he's like, oh, you want to piss me off? This is the button. Bing!
He knows.
Fucking hit him with the
You ever
right
had to
button.
sand some mud off some drywall and you look at the bottom of your floor and it's just all, that's like his socks every time he scratches his leg.
Man, jeez Louise.
This guy dressed like he about to go on Ellen. Why is everything you do so feminine? Man? God damn.
You've used that joke like about 80 times in the last month. Do you have any other jokes aside from Ellen or lesbian ankle jokes? Come on, bro.
This guy's been using ashy jokes.
Yeah, but I find new creative ways to do it every time. It's not my fault that you punch
years.
Frosted Flakes all day. Bro, figure it out, all right?
This guy's so short.
Figure it out. Oh, yeah, here comes
Get
the
taller.
short jokes, man.
Get taller.
Hit your head on another doorway and talk to me again, man.
Maybe I will.
Well,
I'm taking new clients.
Where are we sitting at with time?
We're probably about almost.
Time is of the
Hour
essence.
17.
Hour 17.
That's a
Yeah,
decent
that's a decent little slot
It's a
here.
little podcast.
Yeah, I
man.
guess, eh?
There you go.
Okay, hold on one second. I think we're on to something, though, real quick, before we cut this thing off, if we do. Like, how much does a whale cost? Like, if we can get $70K per episode,
How much is a
Where are
whale
you gonna house a whale, bro? It's gonna cost more than $70K to house a whale.
No one needs to know about it. We could just like.
How often does a whale puke? Do you even know these facts? Like,
Yeah, we're making them puke by.
How much?
throwing
Yeah,
your
like get a
mixtape
baby
on.
whale. Get a baby whale. They puke all the time. Babies,
Yeah, baby
that's all
whales.
they do is throw
That's
up.
all they do is throw up.
And it's smaller. Like how much? Like 20 times.
so now you have to house whale babies.
$30,000
Now you're
month.
just housing all. Listen, man.
Cool. And then you know what? We could double dip. We could just like charge people to watch the whales swim around in the big pool.
I feel like you're gonna have an immense amount of people boycotting your company. I'm just gonna say this right off rip.
I'm pretty sure they used to do that with the orcas and they've banned that.
That's what I'm gonna say. Like, you can't even have a whale just for people to look at. Imagine having one to induce vomiting.
I'm pretty sure they made a movie about this.
Someone's gonna be
Vice
triggered
would be
for
on
that.
your ass so quick with a documentary. Like, oh, what do you guys do? Oh, we just take this giant stick and shove it down this whale's throat until he fucking.
And it's all like these hidden cameras and stuff like that. So how does this work exactly? Well, whale vomit's very, very valuable nowadays. So what we do is we've housed this whale, and we don't give them like really like clean fish. We give them like little bit.
It's a little old. It's
Make
got a
sure
little
they go
bad.
a little bit sour.
You know, you
There's
go to the
certain type of
grocery
bug
store
gas
and you
to go in
get
the
the
fish
value
before we can
bread.
give it to the whale.
Whoa.
We also keep this 30-foot whale in a 20-foot cage, just so his stomach is always compressed.
Just
on
always
itself.
giving him. So he always has anxiety, and as he's anxiety, it induces more vomiting on a regular bit. And then we constantly call it fat. So we constantly call it fat. So we call it fat on a regular basis. So it gets a little bit of a complex. So then he makes himself throw up. Oh, man.
70K a nugget, whatever. I'll take that Vice documentary all day long.
Name the whale Anna. First name Anna, last name Rexic. Sick.
No. She has to eat. She's gotta be bulimic.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Eat.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's what I was
Oh,
thinking.
yeah, bulimic, yeah. Jeez. Well,
Okay, well, on that note,
I guess on that note, we
now
might-
that YouTube just kicked us.
now that we can't make money
Sorry,
from
guys.
this one,
PETA's just here.
Peter's here already. They're outside. Oh, man. We're ready to throw
You have anything to say for yourself? Yeah, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
That's good. That's good.
That was a good one. That was a good one. That's a good one.
Kryple's good with the.
I got the puns on deck.
He does. He's
I
got
got the puns on deck. I learned from the best, man.
Yeah, who did you learn from?
John Nani, man.
John
And
Nani's
Stewie.
pretty
Stewie
You know
Cu-
Joey Nani?
He's a good homie,
yeah,
man.
I
I produced for him. We have a couple songs together and shit.
And Stu Kubrick.
Stewie is like the unspoken pun god. I swear he's better than the pun guys.
Is he, eh?
Yeah, 'cause he's just nonstop. His mind just never stops working, and he's just puns.
He never stops punning.
all day.
I think it's a mental problem.
He got the fundamentals down.
The fundamentals so down, yeah.
You've said that before to him, hey? The fundamentals.
Maybe not to
He's
him.
pretty good with the
yeah.
puns too. I'm not
He's
gonna
not
lie.
bad. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm just quick.
Kryple's pretty
good.
quick on point with
Yeah.
stuff.
I think I'm gonna start roast battling.
Yeah?
You see me roast K Blitz on his status the other day?
That killed me. I'm dead. I think I
I love you,
commented on
K-Blitz.
it. Dead.
I love you, K
Yeah,
Blitz.
shout out K Blitz. I love K Blitz too. That
Yeah,
was
like I just woke up and see, cause he's like, I got a bunch of clothes while I'm out here in the States. We gonna have a drip war. I'm like, oh, you gonna have a drip war with me? All right, man, let's figure it out, bro.
He wasn't wearing a bucket hat.
So first
Yeah,
of all,
bucket Candy Crush.
he's got to
ass
stop
bucket.
sweating.
We can't just beat K Blitz.
We can't just beat him in a drip off if he just sweats all the time.
Yeah, you got the drip K Blitz on.
Stop
The
this.
sweat drip.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh
Love you,
man.
K
On
Blitz.
that note, okay.
Love K Blitz.
K-Blitz is just fuck you guys.
K Blitz. I love K Blitz.
Okay,
K
well,
Blitz.
before we let it go, where do they find you guys?
Yeah.
Oh, you can find him behind me at any function or
Pause
whatever.
that. Pause that.
Real quick, pause that.
That's
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know what that means, man.
Yeah, man.
It's a new marketing ploy here.
Gay-
You guys are going down the whole.
Gay is okay, all right? Just remember that. Gay is okay, straight. I know this hurts your very core to your being, but gay is okay.
I just don't know how you make babies from it.
Adoption.
Don't know how you
Like,
make
I don't know.
Surrogates?
Yeah, well, it's still like it's no uterus in an asshole, man. Like,
I mean, surrogate's a little bit weird sometimes, but
why is that? You never done it before?
Went over your head, but figure it
Oh,
out.
okay.
You know, the surrogate is how you carry a baby.
Yeah.
I said surrogate. Never mind.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, we gotta figure out where BG's gonna be behind you next. So tell us. Okay. Actually, though, BG, where do they find you at, and where do they find Kryple at?
You can find me at BGK HipHop on all social media platforms. You can find him at Kids Gap and playgrounds across Edmonton.
Ooh.
What's he doing there?
He's just scoping.
I'm
kids
picking
out.
him up. BG's the only guy that's legally allowed to speed through a school zone.
Kryple, where do they find you at?
Any playground BG goes to,
You
he's
want
breaching
to talk
his
about
probation.
rewriting jokes? There's
Listen, man. I'll
syndicated
rewrite the
shows
fucking
coming after
Bible,
him
man.
for all
You
the
don't even know
jokes that
about
you
me.
stole off them.
Who?
Never mind.
Where Kryple, where do they find you
Figure it
at?
out,
Where do they
man.
find you at?
Find me on the block.
Yeah.
Find me in your girlfriend's bedroom. No, just search Kryple, Kryple on anything, man.
Yeah.
I got music videos, Instagram, Facebook,
Oh,
Twitter. I don't
What,
use Twitter,
okay,
but
before we leave, because we'll actually cut it off. You got any new projects coming out? What's going on? We didn't even talk music, which I
No, we
actually
didn't.
really appreciated. This
we
is-
got I got a bunch of singles and videos that I'm putting out.
Yeah.
I don't have an album or anything I'm working on. I'm just kind of like doing singles, and once they start to gain a lot more traction and do some well, then I'll probably put a project together. But
Yeah.
I'm just working on a lot of just solo stuff, just focused on myself right now. And
Any shows coming up?
BG not right now, no.
Any?
I just did a bunch. Just did a few tours, and
Yeah.
maybe in towards the end of the fall, I'd like to do another little short run or something. But
Were these Doom Squad tours or Kryple
it was
tours?
just Kryple.
Kryple,
We
yeah.
did Doom Squad with Yelawolf,
Yeah.
but then I did Kryple with Lil Windex and Mercules.
You were on tour with Yelawolf?
Yeah,
Nice.
it was sick. We only did a few shows, but it was
It's dope.
he's the coolest artist I ever met. I met a lot of artists over time. You just kind of do that in the
Yeah, you
industry,
do,
but
yeah.
like after every show, he'd just want to go drink at whatever bar was closest to the venue. Fans there or not, doesn't matter. Like we just got lit, had a lot of good combos and shit. Got a lot of good. We had a day off in between the Calgary and the Saskatoon show, so me and Greg just ended up going to the bar to have some drinks, and he just ended up coming there. We stayed there for like 9 hours. We just literally
chopped it up.
We just got wasted, bro, and we just chopped it up for like 9 hours, just hanging, the 3 of us.
With Yelawolf, that's hilarious.
Yeah, he's a super cool guy, man. Gave us a lot of insight and just like cool industry tips and just like random shit. Like, gave us a really big insight to like him and Post Malone's little beef that they got. That was pretty cool. Just to, like, hear
get the inside,
the ins and outs of like what really is going on and why that shit happens, and like, yeah. So like, yeah, I don't know. I'm just like refraining from the Doom Squad stuff for a bit. Just more focusing on myself.
Yeah.
Not that anything was wrong with it. Like, those are still my brothers. I love them.
Yeah.
Make sure you go check 9 Lives and Trips' new. They got videos coming out soon.
Trips got some crazy shit happening here.
Yeah,
Trips about to be famous. Yeah, 9, same thing.
Trips is about to take over the world, bro. He's about to be. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Trips is. Yeah, I don't know what Trips is. Okay, this is a crazy experience that I had. Is Trips took me to the place where he wrote the album. He sat back. He lit one up. Passed one to me. I was like, I didn't smoke it though. And then
you're lying, and you tap me. You're lying. Yo, Stripes does this all the time. He smoked weed with every single one of us in our group of friends, and then lies to every single one of us and says he doesn't smoke.
So
he tells me he doesn't smoke either.
Yeah. So here's what
with him about 3 times.
Never happened.
So
never happened.
What ended up happening? No. Okay, this was really cool though. We kicked the chairs.
My mama, this happened.
We kicked the chairs back, and he just played his whole project front to back, and like I think I had to cry. I don't know what. I was like, I was like overwhelmed with like the weirdest emotion. I couldn't put my finger on it, but it was like he's
like
coming.
He
up.
wrote it here.
He embraced himself, bro. That's like, yo, we've been trying to tell Trips to sing a lot. I think everybody's been like, you should do more singing.
Yeah,
you should do more singing. And he always wanted to be the rapper, which is fair. Like, whatever you want to do, he does, and he's great at it. So it's like, you can't tell a man what to do with his creativity, and you can't force somebody to do something they don't want to do.
Yeah.
But he went to school, and then whatever clicked when he was in that school, bro. It clicked for himself, and that's how it needed to happen naturally.
Yeah.
But that's how you got this project. If you probably would have tried to get him to make the same album a few years ago, you wouldn't have done it. It wouldn't have as much passion. It wouldn't have as much substance. It just wouldn't have as much like Trips in it as it should. And,
yeah.
But I think he made, like, in my opinion, the best album to ever be made in our city.
I think so too.
And I'll go above that too. Like, I think this is like,
it's good.
It's one of the fucking best product I've ever heard. Like,
I think so
insane.
too. Yeah. He created his own music genre.
Almost.
Or something,
it's
I don't
like,
know.
His style.
He created his own lane for sure. Like, it's definitely him. Like, you can't put.
I can't compare it.
On. Yeah, exactly. You can't compare it.
I can be like, oh, it sounds a little bit like. I'm like, I don't know what this sounds like.
That's Trips.
Yeah, it's just Trips. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
And like, he shows his range so well in that project.
Yeah.
You should do that. You should come by my house one of these days. I'll show you. I got like 50 songs.
Yeah, let's do
just
it.
Sitting.
I'm down. We'll just sit. And we'll just we won't smoke any weed. And you'll smoke it. But anyways.
You're such a liar, man.
Oh well, shut up, man.
Yeah, you don't even know what he has for breakfast anymore.
No. Yeah, but anyways, that's where we're at. So you're just focusing on yourself.
Apple cider vinegar and a fucking shot of whey protein, probably.
That's true, actually.
Yeah, I don't think so. Sometimes you'll ask him what he has for breakfast. He says he has a shot of whey protein, but he had scrambled eggs. You just never know what the fuck is going on with him. He sometimes comes in and says hello. I don't know if he's leaving or not.
I got a wild life, Steve Van Diest. I got a wild fucking life. I do. It's crazy. You should do a whole podcast on my life, and you'll see what's really good, boys.
Let's do it. Let's talk, man.
Yeah. No, not right now.
Need a friend, bro?
I do right now.
Who
actually,
hurt you?
Yeah. It's myself.
So,
yeah.
Self-inflicted.
Onset.
I like these socks, bro.
Thanks. You like that? Yeah.
Sick with it, man.
I know. I'm here. But yeah, I think that's an episode.
That's good.
I think that's an episode. Yeah. So we got BGK, Kryple, Cameron Barkey, Steve Van Diest, Russell DePeel.
Yo, shout out to ThoughtXchange for having us out, man.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thanks, guys.
TXC Show.
Yeah.
Go check out my music.
Yeah. Take care. See you guys next week.